Good afternoon, everyone. First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Joseph Williams with Divine News Now afternoon update. And here's what's going on. We've been dealing with this Arctic blast for, quite some time. It started this past Thursday afternoon, and it's lingering into this weekend. In fact, we saw wind chills in the 50s below zero Friday morning. And even for this Saturday morning, wind chills were still in the 30s to even low 40s below zero across much of our region. This afternoon, we are warming up a little bit, but we're still below zero. I'm looking outside. Temperatures are currently in the single digits below zero in the Fargo-Moorhead area as of 4:18 p.m. It's cold outside. If there's any good news, it's quiet day out there. Our sky cam shows a partly sunny sky. The camera is shaking slightly because of a light wind in the area, but other than that, very uneventful. The main issue is that Arctic air just sitting on top of us as the high pressure system that brought that Arctic air into our region continues sitting on top of the northern plains, bringing that scattered cloud cover and otherwise quiet conditions our way. So let's go over the details. This morning we saw, this is the air temperature for context. These are the actual temperatures we saw this morning. Wind chills were lower still. We saw lows in the teens below zero in southeastern North Dakota. Northwest Minnesota saw lows in the 20s below zero, such as 16 below in Fargo versus 34 below in Bemidji. And so, yeah, very cold this morning. And again, we have warmed up this afternoon, but we are still looking at our first alert weather day continuing until Monday a.m. That's the big story. Our first alert weather day continues until Monday a.m. because we'll continue being under this Arctic air mass for the next 2 mornings. And here's what we're expecting. Again, that Arctic air mass sitting on top of us for Sunday morning, but Sunday afternoon into Monday morning. And during that time, at its coldest, we're still looking at wind chills in the 40s below zero. The good news is that the worst of the Arctic air mass is kind of pushed to the east of us, but we're still looking at wind chills in the 40s below zero heading into Sunday morning, and wind chills in the 30s below zero heading into Monday morning. That can lead to frostbite in as little as 10 minutes. So let's go over our alerts. In the Northern Valley, we still have an extreme cold warning until noon Sunday, and that's because for Sunday morning's commute, wind chills could be as low as 50 below, and that could lead to frostbite in as little as 5 minutes, Down south, we mainly have this cold weather advisory. The cold weather advisory that is continuing today and will last until 9 a.m. Monday. In the Northern Valley, I mentioned that extreme cold warning. Well, that cold warning will transition to a cold weather advisory in the Northern Valley noon tomorrow, and that will thereafter last until 9 a.m. Monday. So basically, we'll continue seeing these cold weather alerts. That's the main thing. We'll continue seeing these cold weather alerts of some kind until late Monday morning, because we're still looking at wind chills in the 30s below zero at the bare minimum, with some areas in the Northern Valley seeing wind chills as low as 50 below zero. Here's why. I mentioned that we had a high pressure system dragging Arctic air down into a region. It's a pretty big surface high. It stretches across much of Canada, and it's bringing a dry, stable air mass into a region. That's why we're looking at partly sunny skies today and more sunshine tomorrow. But on the other hand, again, all that cold air from up north is sliding into a region, as indicated by this pink color here, and that's why Canada and North Dakota, Minnesota are so cold, and that's going to stick around even into Monday morning. As a result, temperatures are in the single digits above zero in southeastern North Dakota, but below zero in northeastern North Dakota, the Red River Valley, and northwest Minnesota. So most of our region is still very cold indeed, below zero, and as a result, with those kinds of temperatures, it doesn't take much wind to get a wind chill. It means you're looking at wind chills in the teens and 20s below zero. So it is still cold outside. Definitely make sure to bundle up for tonight. Here's the main story for the next few days. Again, first alerting you to that extreme cold continuing into Monday morning with chills in the 30s to even 40s below zero. Then for the rest of the week, we'll be above zero for our highs, below zero for the morning lows, and we may see another shot of cold air towards the end of the week. So let's go over our first alert weather day for tomorrow and Monday first. Again, that high pressure system still keeping the atmosphere stable, and so we'll continue seeing this Arctic air lingering into Sunday. So again, sunshine for Sunday, but again, that high pressure system keeps the Arctic air mass trapped in our region, and so we're still looking at bitterly cold temperatures even into your Monday morning commutes. Monday afternoon, a weak clipper system will bring some warm air our way, lifting temperatures into the teens, but thereafter its cold front drapes itself across our region Monday evening, giving us another shot of cold air on Tuesday. So we warm up into the teens on Monday, and that's pretty much the only day next week that we see highs in the teens, because the rest of the week we're looking at highs in the single digits. And here's what that looks like on a first look forecast. Again, for tonight, temperatures will be in the teens and 20s below zero. That cloud cover that's in our region will break up overnight into Sunday morning, so we are looking at partly to mostly sunny skies for your Sunday morning commute. By Sunday afternoon, plenty of sunshine all around. It looks like a gorgeous day, but the main issue is that dangerously cold temperature across the region. We're still looking at single digit to teens below zero reading across much of our region for Sunday afternoon. And then overnight, we'll see temperatures dropping into the teens once again. So it's still going to be cold across our region. And here's what that does to our wind chill forecast. Heading into midnight, wind chills will still be in the 20s below zero, single digits below zero in parts of our region. It gets even colder still Sunday morning. Wind chills will likely be in the 40s below zero, maybe even 50s below zero at the international border, versus the 30s below zero in the Southern Valley. So if you're in the Southern Valley, that's why we have that cold weather advisory for the Southern Valley. It's because you're generally expected to see wind chills in the 30s below zero, not the 40s and 50s below zero. The Northern Valley, however, expecting wind chills in the 40s and 50s below zero for your Sunday morning commute. By Sunday afternoon, daytime heating causes temperatures to rise, and so wind chills will warm up, quote unquote, back into the 20s to even 30s below zero. So it's still going to be very cold for your Sunday afternoon commute. And then overnight into Monday morning, we're still looking at wind chills in the 30s below zero across our region. But by the afternoon hours, daytime heating takes hold and causes temperatures to rise, causes those wind chills to rise into the low teens below zero. So it's still going to be cold out there for your morning commute. Put another way, let's look at our regional forecast to show you what I'm talking about. In northeast North Dakota, we're looking at morning lows in the teens to 20s below zero, with wind chills in the 40s below zero, such as 25 below for the air temperature and 44 below for the wind chill in Devil's Lake, 29 below and 50 below for the temperature and wind chill in Langdon, and in northwest Minnesota, similar deal, 28 below and 47 below for the temperature and wind chill in Hallock, 27 below and 43 below for the temperature and wind chill in Roseau. Down south, wind chills will generally be in the 20s below zero, maybe some 30s below zero in Fargo, and the air temperature will be in the low teens below zero to upper single digits below zero. So it is going to be cold. It won't be as cold down south compared to the northern areas, but it is still going to be frigid either way. You'll definitely want to take some precautions to protect yourself from the cold. By tomorrow afternoon, we're still looking at wind chills in the 20s to low 30s below zero, whereas the air temperature will still be in the single digits to low teens below zero. So it's still going to be cold tomorrow afternoon. And then Monday morning, we're dealing with morning temperatures in the teens below zero and wind chills in the 30s below zero. After that, we do warm up briefly for Monday, and then we're tracking our next weather maker, which is a brief cold snap that, while not as frigid as this weekend, will still lead to some 20s to even 30s below zero for wind chill, at least possibly. Here's what it looks like on our first look forecast here. Towards the end of the week, another shot of Arctic air sweeps into the northern plains on the 29th and the 30th. and we do get a brief break from it on the 31st, which is why we see that blue color indicating slightly warmer temperatures. So basically we will see a shot of colder air towards the end of the week, and here's what it looks like in terms of our lows over the next few days. Again, lows in the teens below zero for Monday morning, sub-zero for Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, and then we're seeing a lot more prolific cold coming in on Thursday morning, as indicated by this pink color. That indicates temperatures in the teens below zero for Thursday morning. So Tuesday and Wednesday morning, morning lows will be in the single digits below zero. For Thursday morning, back in the teens below zero in parts of our region. Similar deal for Friday morning. So it's going to be cold Thursday and Friday morning. We will keep an eye on it to see how cold it will get and how low the wind chills may get for Thursday and Friday mornings. So stick with Valley News Live for first little updates. But it does mean that we're looking at another frigid couple of mornings towards the end of the work week. As for precipitation chances, well, on the bright side, we're taking a break from precipitation chances. We may see a few showers in northwest Minnesota on Monday afternoon. But aside from that, the rest of the work week is looking sunny and dry. It's not until the upcoming weekend that we even see a shot of precipitation. And here's what it looks like on our first look forecast here. Again, a few showers may push into northwest Minnesota early Monday afternoon, bringing some snow flurries and showers in the process. Very little moisture expected from those flurries and showers, as the cold front, because it's so moisture starved, it's not going to bring much moisture into our region, but that's what's causing that snow shower activity in the northern areas for Monday afternoon. It's that moisture starved cold front that sweeps in during that time. And again, anyways, we'll see some snow shower activity in northwest Minnesota early Monday afternoon, but by late Monday afternoon and evening, that moisture is out of our region, and thereafter we're going to stay on the partly sunny, dry side for the rest of the work week. It's not going to be until the upcoming weekend, in fact, that we even see an increased chance of precipitation, although models differ on exactly how much precipitation we could see, if we see any at all. The model you're seeing here, the American model, wants our region to stay dry because it basically wants a high pressure system moving into our region over the weekend, keeping moisture to the west of us. One of our other models, the European model, actually wants some snow shower activity in our region for the upcoming weekend. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, but I suspect that at worst, we might see a couple isolated flurries for the upcoming weekend. So let's recap. The big story is that dangerously cold temperature and wind chill over the next couple of mornings, which means you'll want to take precautions. Make sure to keep the winter gear on hand, keep the gloves, the heavy coat, the hat, etc. on standby if you have to travel, if you have to do anything outdoors. And just keep in mind, you want to, again, just keep that in mind because you don't want exposed skin since it could freeze in 10 minutes or less. So a quick reminder that skin becomes red at first, then white or grayish, and it may feel waxy or firm. That indicates some signs of frostbite, and also feel some numbness on that skin too. If you do start seeing symptoms of frostbite, you might want to warm up that. Best to warm up the infected area, but don't use direct heat, and do not rub or massage that frostbitten skin because that can damage your skin either way. So let's recap everything one final time. First low weather days for Sunday and Monday morning, because wind chills will be in the 30s below zero at the bare minimum, and even afternoon wind chills will be in the 20s below zero, and that means frostbite in just minutes, so make sure to bundle up and take precautions if you have to go outside. We do warm back up into the teens Monday afternoon, but thanks to a strong southwesterly breeze, but we will see a few flurries and showers in northwest Minnesota early Monday afternoon, and then Monday night, another shot of cold air sweeps into a region, dropping temperatures into the single digits below zero for Monday night into Tuesday morning. And then we stay in the single digits for highs for the rest of the week. So it's still going to be cold for the rest of the week, particularly on Thursday and Friday morning, where we'll see morning lows in the low teens below zero, and wind chills possibly colder still. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on this upcoming Thursday and Friday morning. And thereafter, as we transition into the month of February, look at this. Our temperatures will be back in the teens to low 20s. So the heat is basically on, at least compared to what we're seeing right now, after the 31st. After the 30th of January, we're back in those teens, back to above normal levels heading into early February. So again, I'll be going over these details on Valley News Live at 6, 9, and 10. And I'll also be giving periodic updates on the VNN First Alert weather app. So be sure to tune in, keep the notifications turned on over the next several hours as I pump out some videos and go a little bit more in depth on what we're experiencing for these upcoming First Alert weather days, as well as the rest of next week. And I'll also be back on for tomorrow night at 9 and 10 too, if you're not able to watch any of today's shows. And also, quick update, I will be back on the OTT live desk at about 8 o'clock tonight to give a latest update on the wind chills and temperatures that we're seeing this evening. So be sure to tune into that to get your First Alert forecast. So in the meantime, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Saturday afternoon. And again, tune back in at about 8 o'clock. I will be back on here for a latest update, a latest look at our First Alert forecast on Valley News Now.